Back in bold with Mr. Z. Got the sunglasses on. Thanks for joining me. I got my micro needling done today, so my face is a little off, and it's good. You know what I mean? You have to put the shades on and so forth. So, Zach, where'd you get those little red shades? I like those.
These are the Paraguay shades on the way to Iguazu. $7 fake Ray-Bans. I mean, it's probably about the third time I wore them. But of course, I want to make you feel a little bit more comfortable, so I put the shades on. We're having a little extra vibe on this podcast.
Yeah, I saw micro needling. It's like 395 reais, about $80. Like really professional building, dug in there deep. I've been living with the girls, so I'm starting to get on my beauty phase. As I get older as well. You ever done micro needling though?
Never, unfortunately.
I did like 7 years ago. Get rid of some acne scarring. Like a lot of dudes that comment, "Oh, this guy's got acne." Yes, okay, but it worked really good. I was like, "Damn, this is nice." And now I'm trying to get rid of some lines, and we're talking Botox. We're talking all these different things, Zach. I'm kind of like back to my model days. I modeled in Italy, right? Have I told you that before or no?
Yeah, I have heard that before. Not professional, but
Well, I was technically compensated for it, so.
Okay.
A 25
Yeah, we'll give you that.
card.
We'll give you that. Yeah, 25 euro gift card for sure. I did the same thing at one point, but it was an Airbnb experience. So.
Oh, you paid to get like a modeling shoot thing?
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay, dude. So we're gonna go back and forth about a bunch of different things. Okay, that Young, Black, and Rich. You know that song with the kid on the boat? It's like, I'm young, black, and rich. And he does like the whole dance and went mega viral.
Yeah, you're telling me about it. I have seen it. I've used it in some reels as well. It's a pop and trend in audio right now.
So that guy, that artist that made the song, he had like 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, like not many views at all. He said when he made this song, he was like dead broke and about to give up. But now that dude, obviously he's blowing up. He's taking advantage of his shot in the spotlight. But he's doing massive concerts in Indonesia and went to some boat race. And like the idea of that is crazy. That one song, obviously it took a lot of different work and he'd been, doing it for a while. But then the internet, some random editor that no one even knows who edited it, put together this kid on the boat and then the song at the perfect timing. And now he's mega famous, right? Now his whole life.
Wait, so this is the musical artist, not the kid.
Yeah, so Bo's life changes, but the musical artist is in Indonesia now with the kid and doing the dance, and they say he's like the first rapper ever to play there, and obviously there's 300 million Indonesia people, so they're blowing him up like left and right. He's meeting the president, he's getting all these praises, but think of that, dude. Like, one thing, who would have ever thought that guy is like, yeah, I'm going to be an Indonesia rap star, known globally, but just stop creating and putting things out there. Conceptualize that idea for me.
That is insane. You go from being broke, not popular, and then you have a song pop off, which I'm sure now a ton of DJs are probably doing remixes and things like that. It's hitting the dance scene. But I have seen that on Instagram and TikTok. A lot of musical artists are going from broke to just posting tons of reels with new content or with new music. And they're getting super popular on IG reels, which in general, if that happens, you might not blow up like this guy, but it still increases your Spotify streams, your SoundCloud streams, and then all of a sudden you have, $5,000-$10,000 a month coming in or even more, or you're getting, DJ sets or things like that, it is insane. Just the power of the internet. Instead of reaching out to people locally, you can get anywhere. And if it gets in one group and goes crazy, insane.
Dude, the Ibiza final boss. You saw that guy? The past 2 weeks, this freaking dorky dude is world famous and he's got brand deals now. He's the king of Ibiza.
Wait, that guy with the bowl cut,
Yes.
and the fake teeth or whatever.
After a random video of him clearly high out of his mind, dancing alone in Ibiza, he became mega famous and he made a crypto coin. He did everything right in the first 2 weeks. I wouldn't say right, but he's
He made a
taking
crypto
advantage of
coin?
the extreme.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that. I keep thinking of Gangnam Style, like in the 2000s, and Gangnam
Oh, yeah.
Style, dun, dun, like that. They came out with those one hit wonders, and then it goes crazy for like 2 years. You never hear from them again. But now we have the internet, which is even crazier. But yeah, that's That's
I
insane what
think
the internet can do.
my whole point about this though is like your life would now can change overnight for good and for bad with the internet, and I think that should motivate a lot of people to just post shit because you never know which one might hit, which one might not, and then when it does get hit, you got to be ready to capitalize. I think that's a big thing that I never have been ready for it. Like I've had some things go viral, but right underneath they say you have to put, hey, pitch them a service, right? And then or build different things, and if you don't like take advantage of the virality of it, then
You'll
you're
lose
wasting.
out. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, your life can change overnight. Even the one girl who dropped the crypto coin and rugged it, but whatever her name was,
Oh, true.
she yeah she went viral off that one street video, and then right made millions of dollars in a span of a year and a half. Obviously, didn't take the best route towards the end of that and listen to the wrong people, but in a short amount of time, you pretty much have millions of dollars. You go from working a normal job to having brand deals and sponsorships and all of that, and your life changes in a blink of an eye. So yeah, you're right. Just posting stuff out there, you don't know who it's going to hit, where it's going to go. Maybe something will hit. 99% of people that won't happen, but it's still the power of the internet. So why
Yeah, I
not
think
post some stuff? I even saw a video today of a guy that was talking about long form videos because we've talked about that with YouTube videos. Hey, I recorded me doing vlogs, and he's like, you don't have to edit it, you don't have to post it, but the fact that I'm in my hard drive and I'm looking back on this time I was in the Dominican, or this time I was in South America, or and this time I was in Europe, and I have all of that rather than just photos, it's super cool to look back on and just be like, at least I have that footage to look back on. You don't have to post it if you don't want to, but it's even better. You still have it in the archives for whenever you want to. Like documenting the process, documenting things early on. Everyone talks about that. So always good. Always good to press record.
yeah, you gotta like it, of course. So there's gotta be a purpose behind it, not just to get viral or make money off it. But I'm telling you, if you keep doing it, your chances start getting bigger and bigger about something clicking because you start understanding the internet and virality and whatnot. And if you're ready to strike when your moment comes, it could be the overnight success thing, right? Because like that young black and rich guy was doing this forever. I don't think forever, but a couple years, and then some random guy. They still don't know who did it, who made the clip, the original clip, the editor. Put this weird boat race in Indonesia, timed it up perfectly with this random song that had 10,000 views on YouTube, right? It's like
Yeah.
this synchronicity or whatever that word is. Like I mean,
Reciprocity?
yeah, some shit
I
like
don't
that.
know.
It just perfectly aligned, and it became that. So I don't know. I think the main point of that when I see that stuff is like, damn, just put your shit out there, create if you enjoy it, and you never know what could happen. I mean, that guy never in his wildest dreams would he have thought that I'd be a viral famous person in Indonesia. Now it's worldwide and doing concerts for them, and so I think it's just really cool observation I had, Mr. Zach.
I agree. I agree. Just record the content, put it out there. Even if you don't like it, you still have it in the archives. You have the possibility of it going viral, reaching people. And second of all, creating content, the more that you do it, becomes easier. Like it's always going to, suck the first 100 times. Still going to be nervous, but you get better at speaking, get better at creating, you get better at understanding the algorithm. And I would say even me and you, like we're still in that process of just figuring it all out.
For sure. Hey, what do you think about Latam Gringo lore the last week or so? I'm starting like everyone. They said like 2 years ago. I remember 2 years ago, everyone was tweeting at each other and it was like super cool. And then it got really AI-ish. But I'm starting to feel like a nice group on the Latam Bros on Twitter. Everyone's kind of going back and forth. You know all these different characters. They all have different kind of vibes. And then that one dude, he made these memes of different type of gringos, like the locked-in Paraguay bro, the course seller in Medellin, the Brazilian
I
gringo.
thought you started that, and then he just added on to it.
Yeah, but he created it. So I threw up like, damn, we got to recreate this one meme, and then he went in there and literally made it like super cool, like in detailed, and then he did like a part 2, 3. I think he's working on part 4 right now. But I don't know. I thought that was neat. Like you were the hotel guy. Like part of you was in there. Jack, the tier B,
Me and Jack are. I'm kind of becoming that tier 2, tier B or tier C guy too, just chilling in those cities. But no, yeah, I think that's good. Finding some like humor and some virality. I don't know what you mean by specifically the gringo lore. You just mean like people are just connecting instead of like talking shit at this point, and people are just kind of vibing off of that.
Yeah, there's definitely some sort of community that's been built, the Latam Bros for a while, but I can tell and see it stronger now, like the little niche. This is gonna go down in the lore of in the future. Gringo's coming down here and so forth. Because obviously we're not the first ones here. Of course, they had these kind of chats in different forums back in the day, but I think from everything I know right now, the Twitter Latam thing is like the most in-depth Latin America travel guide sharing thing right now. I think the expat Facebook groups are like per city and stuff, but this is like everyone who's here is talking to each other on here, and you get like I get way better information here than pretty much anywhere else. So I don't know. I think it'll be shared and passed around and thrown on different boards. The lore, the meme that was created.
Yeah, I do think it is. A lot of people are even small followings, right? The people that are engaging and asking like good questions and aren't just the Latam shit talkers, right? These people are. I think when you say it's growing in that sense, I see that happening. Like more people are starting to connect through socials in real life, and I've had quite a few people reach out to me about Asuncion, about Buenos Aires, about Santa Cruz, just off of what I've tweeted about that, and they reach out to me on Instagram or Twitter. So yeah, people are trying to connect in that way and connect in different cities. And I think the people that are not as much shit talking, but more of like engaging and trying to learn and get to know people, like that type of community is definitely vibing more right now, which then makes travel in Latin America that much better than just kind of being like solo on your own, just, in checking out things instead of not engaging. Like people that are engaging are creating these communities and creating stronger connections, it seems.
Yeah, that one dude, the Constantine, the Russian in Chile, who's been there forever, the Southern Cone Ghost. He's been giving me so much advice on Chile, dude. Like, I mean, $500,000 worth of advice of exactly where to go and what to see and do this in Chile, do that. I mean, I'm like, holy shit, this is, the amount of value that you're giving me. I should be paying you for a consultation or something because you're going to save me a crap ton of money. You're going to make my experience way better. But that's the feeling I'm getting here is that the Twitter Latam bros are pretty cool. I'm enjoying that.
Yeah. And especially that, like when you do make those connections, you're way more willing to meet up with them rather than the random person that says, hey, I'm in this city. You don't know what they look like. You check out their Twitter. They're not saying anything. They're just kind of checking out things from behind the scenes. Like those people that give you a ton of value, it makes you want to, do a trip with them or check out, be in the same city, like for sure. And it's crazy. It is crazy how much value some people can provide you. So yeah, there's some good people on the platform, that's for sure.
Well, I think the more you give too is when you get it back. So I think I give out decent advice. But yesterday I posted the Pangea Pass thing, and a shit ton of dudes are like, oh wow, like because they've seen me in there, they probably trust me, and I'm trying to solve a problem for them with the data issue, right? Unlimited data, 100 plus countries, $27 a month. Like there's a little pitch, and a lot of dudes were liking it, asking questions, vouching for it, and I think so now they want to like obviously I get affiliate here. It's like $30 per person or whatever, but it was kind of like damn, because I've given free info. Now a lot of dudes are like, okay, wow, this is a product I want to use, and I'll support Mr. Bold out there, and it's talk about that like that niche thing, like Tim Ferriss, your first 1,000 people or those are the most important, and they want to support you, and especially if you can find a solution, something that helps them out in their day-to-day life, like they'd be more than happy to pay you money to do that, right? So I speak on that Pangea Pass and that idea I just said right there.
Yeah, I agree on the 1,000-person thing. I've always said that it's the first 1,000 people, and if you're honest and you're not, going for clout and you provide value, like people just want to be a part of what you're a part of, or pay for a consulting, or pay for a digital product, or pay for anything else. So 100%, the 1,000 people thing is legit. Pangea Pass, I'm a fan. I've been using it for five months. After the first 3 months, I was using Saley. Saley is obviously very well known, like the Airalo, Saley, all of that. But I used it because I also got a affiliate link with them for 10-15% off, but you only get, $2-3 from it. But at the same time, you end up spending $60-70 a month because it just starts it stops connecting to Wi-Fi. It starts using data that you don't even know. You're just like, I just bought 10 gigabytes yesterday, and now I got 3 gigabytes. Like, what's going on? So that's why I really like Pangea, which I'm sure he'll drop in the link down below if you guys are interested, because it's literally $30 a month and you get unlimited data. So even if you aren't attached to the internet, like, you still have unlimited data and you're not having to keep topping up. And the really cool thing is when you land in a country and you go off airplane mode, just like you would in the US and any Western country, it instantly goes, you are now connected to Pangea Pass in Bolivia, in Paraguay. So you're not having to like connect to Wi-Fi in the airport, top up in the airport in that country. It's an instant connection. So it's super seamless, super nice monthly payment, and unlimited data. So it is clutch. So go ahead and grab that if you guys are traveling at all, more than a couple weeks, or the nomad expat out here.
Are you doing monthly or did you do the annual one?
Monthly.
Yeah, so it's 27 annually. So, and if you get the 10%, it's like 300, I think, total? No. Yeah,
No,
12,
300 annually, 27 a month. I thought you said.
Yeah.
So you like
20,
save like $20-$30 on the yearly, but
Yeah. So that's what it is, okay? But just to make sure everyone knows, you don't get a number with it, okay? So, like, I have it in my burner. I have a Brazilian SIM because I got it before I had it, and it's good. But you need access to your like American number. So I have my American number on this phone too. And if I ever need to verify like banking stuff, or if your WhatsApp logs out for some reason on a phone, you need access to your account you made it with, right? But the Pangea doesn't give you a number yet. Supposedly they're working on it, but it's more of like, hey, you keep your American phone number on, you take the roaming off, so you never use that, and then you just use all your data with Pangea Pass, right? And nowadays, like, you can verify most things with WhatsApp. You're talking about like the Rappies and those different like delivery services. I think even Airbnb, a lot of stuff is on WhatsApp now. But it's instead of paying like Verizon, it's $2 a day, the daily pass travel. Okay, so every time I have to verify, I have to pay $10. It's 2 gigabytes. I have to pay $10. So I mean, it's just ridiculous. I think Verizon offered me $100 a month for 2 gigabytes a day travel pass, and I was like, this is ridiculous. Because like in these foreign countries, I get a SIM for $7 unlimited data, right? But what Pangea Pass does the best, like you said, oh my God, you get the plane lands, then you can freaking call an Uber. You can get all your messages. You don't have to spend a freaking half a day. Remember in Buenos Aires when I got my SIM and how long that took to get a freaking SIM card?
yeah. And I was like, what are you doing, dude? You could just get 2 gigabytes on Saley real quick, and you're like, no, I gotta get a physical SIM, and like, I'm like, dude.
SIM, but yeah. But you said you end up paying $60-$70, and it's just annoying because you have to worry about your data. That's why I always, when I would go to a place, I would get a local. So I have unlimited. I spend that freaking 4 or 5 hours bullshit to just get it done, right? But now this Pangea Pass solves everything. Like, I mean, for $27, I can't think of a better like deal for travelers. This is one of the worst things ever. Brazil, usually you need a CPF. The TIM store takes forever to get it. I mean, so many gringos have problems getting phone plans in Brazil because of this. When I first came in Floripa, some guy gave me like his CPF and did this whole thing for me, but then I think my card got cloned too. So like that, it solves that issue, right? So, but you can't have your number. So just know that. And other than that, Pangea Pass has been like, I've been waiting for a product like this for forever.
But I mean, even then, I'd say most travelers travel with 2 phones. Like even before I started traveling, I got an extra iPhone, and you can only hold WhatsApp on like 1 phone anyways. So my actual phone number on my real phone is still the same phone number on my WhatsApp, but I didn't need to get a new phone number for an eSIM. It just attaches to the WhatsApp number. So, I mean, you still have it, the WhatsApp number, you just don't have your actual like phone number, but that's separate. Like if I want to make calls on my actual phone to the States to people, then I'll just be connected to Wi-Fi, make those calls. But when you're out and about, I mean, everyone you're talking to or traveling with has WhatsApp. So yeah, I don't really see an issue with that. But yeah, it's clutch. It's a game changer.
The problem is your WhatsApp will log out every once in a while, and then you have to have access to your number to get back on there. So it's really rare. It happens like every freaking 6 months, maybe a year. And you can have WhatsApp on multiple devices. I have it on both phones right now. But yeah, overall, I mean, I can't say enough about Pangea Pass. And if they start porting numbers, I mean, it's going to be ridiculous. And I told you, Zach, I probably shouldn't say that because I don't know if they want that information out there about data and all that, what's going to happen in the future. But, credit cards. So that Venture X came in the mail. I was talking to you last night about it. And I was just looking at these benefits, dude. I mean, out the gate, they give you annually 300 travel credit and then 10,000 points every anniversary. Spend $4,000 in the first 3 months, you get 75,000 points. All those bonuses. But dude, I booked through Capital One travel portal, like the hotels. Yeah. And I'm good at finding deals and whatever booking, and I got the highest rating on there and Airbnb. And I was like, holy shit! It's most of the stuff on here is the same price or cheaper on Capital One portal, and I get 10x miles paying through it. So like, I booked something for like $130. That was like a little more than or a little less than Booking.com, but then I also got $13 in points back from it booking on my card, the miles, right?
Like, so yeah, if it's 10x, $130, it's like 1,000 miles. It also gives you 10x on car rentals, and it has primary car rental insurance. So a lot of people will pay for the extra car insurance, which is $20-30 a day. I mean, that's an extra $100 on a rental. You don't need to do that. If anything were to happen with the rental, booking it under that car already gives you rental insurance that is better than what you're paying with the car rental company. And you're getting 10x again. So yeah, there's certain situations where, of course, booking through the portal makes sense. Usually hotels in Latin America, there's not as much Marriott's or Hilton's or Hyatt's out here. So yeah, there is some good benefits. Capital One is good. I do recommend, though, if you're just building your credit, don't start with Capital One, just because they're not going to give you good limits. Nick already has good limits. We previously talked about that. He has comparable credit. Capital One gave him some good limits. He already had a Capital One card in a relationship. If you have credit built up already, it could be a good option. But he's already in the game playing, and that just makes sense for his strategy. So yeah, if you guys are not tapping into credit cards and traveling with points and miles, you need to, because it even makes things that much cheaper. It allowed me to be the first person to ever fly first class, business class, stay in penthouse suites in my entire family, and it cost me less than what they pay on all of their flights. So you guys, if you're a U.S. citizen, you have access to U.S. credit, you need to be tapping in that stuff. And now you get access to lounges, so he gets to chill at lounges in the airports, Priority Pass lounges. Capital One lounges are incredible in the U.S. There's not many outside the U.S., but he still has Priority Passes. A lot of these travel cards do, so it gives you that access to not pay $20 for a sandwich at the airport and $4 for water. You got a place you can go to in most airports and across the world.
Yeah, and then the fee was like $395 a year, but like I said, the annual travel credit $300, the miles thing, all the benefits. I mean, it pays for itself, obviously. But like I was saying in that tweet too, I'm like, dude, I didn't really start getting somewhat into this until like 2022. I remember we did an episode, I think, during 2021, COVID, and you were really talking about credit and all that. And by then I had no foreign fee transaction cards, but I just stacked up like these points and I had cash back stuff, right? And but I remember when I moved to Copenhagen, I didn't even have a no foreign fee transaction card. Luckily I was getting paid in cash, the krona. But I mean, I was losing 2-3% on every purchase on a card overseas, and that's like the simplest thing. A lot of people don't even have no foreign fee transaction cards, which will save you time, money, peace of mind. Imagine like you get the best rate, and you don't have to do any hitting games. Make sure you click the local currency, of course. But I mean, we're so blessed now. I was reading some dude, the Bavarian dude, Latam Bavarian bro, and they're talking about, okay, guys, like I finally find a way out or to get not too many fees on our debit card and get cash over here. I'm like, do you guys just not have no foreign fee credit cards? Like, what is wrong with you? Europeans are like, dude, we don't. And we get like punished, or we don't get like crazy points. He said, and Americans get paid and promoted to spend, and we get like scolded for doing this kind of stuff. I'm like, damn.
People think 29% interest rates on credit cards are high in the U.S. Like, go look at a UK. It's like 70% interest rates on some of their credit cards. Like, it's crazy. So the U.S. credit system is insane. And if you have access to U.S. credit, you should be using it. But interest rates also don't matter if you pay off your cards in full. Like I say, as you should. Pay off your cards in full. You're not paying interest. It doesn't matter. Same with annual fees. Like you said, the benefits I get from this also pay off the annual fee. Even if you break that down in 12 months, I guess, $400 at 12, I don't know, $30 a month or something. Not even. $30 a month. It's not that bad. Most people are paying like 6 different subscriptions at the same amount. And you get points, which we know how to transfer them, where We did the same thing from Bariloche back to Buenos Aires. Got on in Aerolinos, Argentina. I found some options for us for 7,500 points. The cash cost of that one-way flight was like $300. So we already got $300 worth of value for 7,500 points. We got 3.5x on transferring our points and getting a flight like that.
Flight. Remember the people we were with? They had to take the shit flight and they got stuck in Uruguay and all these. Like I would have been on that flight, wasted all that time, but because of you, we had a clean, easy flight back in Buenos Aires.
Saved money, clean, easy flight, good timing. I mean, once you learn how to do it, change your game.
Yeah, I 100% recommend. And then the lounge stuff. So I've done lounges before, but I paid out of pocket. Like that's the ultimate game changer for 15-hour flights, going across the world, all that kind of shit. Like I had no idea. Well, I know how because I drank a lot, on the flight or I would get like a bottle of wine at the store and just sit in the waiting room and just get hammered because it's terrible. I did a 30-some hour from Thailand to Dubai to USA because like last minute thing for a funeral, and but then I went in lounge in Dubai, and that was freaking amazing, dude. I had massage chairs, I drank the whole time, like Hakuna Matata. But lounges change the whole game. And now that I have like a legit, because I had a card that got me this sum, but not like.
There's a lot of different lounge networks.
Yeah.
But Priority Pass globally is good. I mean, there's certain cards that will give you access to certain different groups. Obviously, there's the Amex lounges, there's the Capital One lounges, there's Chase lounges. Those are mainly in the U.S. There's obviously some globally as well. But yeah, it could change the game in just how you book a flight. Most people are like, oh, no, this is a 6-hour layover. But if you have a lounge pass and can get into lounges, you're not sitting, at the gate for 6 hours, like napping on the ground. Like you have a place where you can chill, get some work done, have food, not think about any of that, and it makes it way easier just in terms of booking and convenience. For me, like traveling, convenience is the way to go. So, and I don't mind with a 3-4 hour layover, even spending a night in a different city with points as well from credit cards, which I know how to do that. Like it changes the whole game once you understand how to utilize points and miles and how you travel. And you're not going to be booking those 35-hour flights. So.
Yeah, I would highly recommend hitting up Big Zach for a consultation on this topic, or just message him on Twitter because you've helped me on 3 cards now, I believe, since 2022. Yeah, 3 different ones you've advised me on, and I mean, it keeps getting better and better. So I would definitely do that. And I know you're more into like the business credit now and doing all that kind of shit, but even this personal stuff will help out a lot of people, especially if you're on the road all the time. I mean, you could be leaving a shit ton of money like I did on the table if you don't get this figured out.
Yeah, book a consultation, guys. I mean, in general, if you learn how to travel hack and build up your personal credit, eventually that can lead to business credit, which you can use it for your business and optimize the right cards, and you do the right things there as well. Like you're earning a ton of points. Like travel, I've pretty much traveled essentially for free the last 6 years. So if you just have the right information and implement some of the stuff, an hour-long consultation will help you out more than anything. You'll be able to build your credit, and you'll have access to tons more in terms of business credit and business funding if you want to eventually build your business or scale your business in other ways. So tap in, y'all.
Okay, hey, Gringo Go Home, reality, Bolivian princesses, macro speaking. Which topic do you want to hit?
Gringo Go Home or Bolivian princesses? Let's touch on what you're talking about, the Gringo Go Home, like the Colombia stuff.
Yeah, all over. So I had one of these videos. It was the Correctivo one. I've had a lot of videos like freaking going viral, and it was me just like, hey, there's actual money in Brazil, with the Ferraris and all that. Mm-hmm. And then some comment was like, Gringo Go Home. And at the moment, I'm just like, what did I even say? Like, what the fuck are you? I'm saying like, hey, Brazil has money. It's just these people are so stupid. But then I'm like, damn. Because like all the immigration shit that's been going on, I'm like, wait, how many Americans are in Brazil compared to USA? So, with your ChatGPT, then, make sure I fact checked it and all that. And there's like 2 million Brazilians, like 500,000 legally, 1.5 million illegally. And in the USA ones, it's from like 30,000 to 80,000 Americans are living in Brazil. So 25 to 60 times as many Brazilians in USA than there are Americans in Brazil. So I threw that out there, I mean, just because we hear this Gringo go home shit, especially like the Mexico City
Yeah.
and Colombia, and by far and large, there's 10x at least more of the locals in the countries that we're in that are living in the U.S. than us down here. And the worst part about that is when they're in our country, a lot of them are making 10x the money they would back home, right? Contrary to us,
And they're sending money. They're sending money to family down here and stuff like that.
yes,
You know what I
revenue,
mean?
it's through the move. And here, we just come here with our money and spend it. If you're not getting paid, luckily I get some, I make some stuff from the locals. But every normal digital nomad person is just coming down here and throwing money into the economy. Okay, yeah, then it raises rents, it does all that kind of shit. But then, okay, if you want us to go home, then all your people have to go home too. That's just that's the only thing that makes sense, or at least make it even. So only put 80,000 Brazilians in USA then, right? So, but it's just like mind-boggling. You know what I mean? But
It is mind-boggling, but they benefit both ways because it's like if there wasn't gringos and there wasn't people visiting, a lot of their economy wouldn't even benefit from it. The people that are making money and charging extra to the people that are visiting, they would be in a worse situation. So, and you actually hear that from a lot when you actually speak with some of the locals. Like when I was in Paraguay, I went to go get my hair cut, and I asked them, like, are there a lot of gringos that come here? He's like, yeah, like 70% of my clients are gringos or foreigners. And I was like, do you like that, or are you kind of on the side of you don't want them here? And they're like, no, it's making me more money. They've always been respectful to me. Like, so when you speak to the people that are a part of it, they don't seem to have a problem with it. And usually that's the case. You see more of it on social media than you do in person. Like, you never really get that hate in person versus socials. It's like a whole different story. It's like the same thing with Argentina. Like, Argentinians in person are great. They're loving. They invite you to places. They want you to go do stuff. Then all of a sudden they are a 180 switch on Twitter and other places, and they hate you. It's like, I've never met any of them like that in person. They're actually awesome and they want to hang out with you, but it's so weird. It's a weird dynamic that social media provides them.
the Gringo go home thing is 110% online. Obviously, there's been rallies and stuff in like Mexico City, so there's some in real life, but it's usually like you see
50% of Mexico is literally from tourism. Like, you know what I mean? Mexico City is more business related, but a lot of those places, Cancun is an entire, that whole area is literally built around Americans to come visit. And so you'd think the same thing. It's like, I mean, I don't know a whole much about the Colombia stuff either, but Colombia probably wouldn't have the growth that it has over the last 5 years if it didn't become a spot where a lot of people travel to. Yes, there are bad eggs. Yes, there are bad gringos, as we all talk about it. But the more that you travel, like, you typically want to be around locals and create friends locally, and you have better relationships versus the people that just stop in for 2 weeks to go crazy, And I think that gets the bad connotation versus the actual people that are spending time there and, trying to be a part of the community.
Yeah, like a lot of Latinos said, the dudes that get it, they're like, there's 0 point in even trying to debate or educate the people on it, right? And like you said, it barely ever happens in person. People are usually good in person. But it's so mind-bogglingly dumb how people get caught up in these things when like the facts and what's actual reality is completely contradicting to what is going on. So, but yeah, that reminded me of that, because I'm like, this person, I'm like, what? Let's see that, like, what's actually going on here. And I saw 2 million versus 80,000 Americans. I was like, this is insane. What is happening here? So, but all right, do you want to talk about that Bolivian princess thing?
Yeah, we talk about like some of the dating stuff. I actually saw another guy who apparently was here visiting. He did a review. He has a super small account, but it probably popped up because I've tweeted about Santa Cruz. Dating here is still like good. There's still good looking girls and whatnot, but I've heard this actually happening in a lot of other places, which I'm sure people get it in Colombia and other spots. But it seems like a lot of what do you call them, gringo hunters? Like, a lot of girls are becoming like too high maintenance, but they're also attracting themselves to gringos because they know that they're gonna take them out and get them things. Buy them gifts, take them out to dinner, they can go to some of the nicest restaurants. It's cheap for, some people in these places as well. So they're almost taking advantage of of that situation, and they're going after the gringos because they can get free things out of it. And I saw someone else tweet about that like the higher end girls, especially like here in Bolivia, are doing that. They're basically becoming like gringo hunters. And I've seen it with a girl that I was talking to as well, where it's just like every single thing is like, let's go to this super nice restaurant, let's go to this spa. Like it becomes like a I don't know, maybe you should just come over and hang out type of thing. So, and they're always wanting to, do things. So I'm curious to hear, because I've heard it's happening in a lot of other places, and some of these places that are growing a little bit, especially in Bolivia, where some of these hotter, more pretty girls are kind of taking advantage of the situation.
We go about the Gringo Go Home topic to this, and people be like,
yeah,
well, this is why we're talking Gringo Go Home. But no, like I was more like the situation in Bolivia is terrible, right? The economy and whatnot.
Oh, you want to talk about that? Okay.
No, the guy was saying, Mr. Dating guy was there before, and it was a lot different. And now, like, because the economy is totally up in chaos, they finally got rid of socialism after 20 years. That there's like a trend among the higher class there, or these type of girls, where I don't know if some TikTok influencer or whatnot, it's like, hey, we got to take advantage of the gringo, and this is how you deserve to be treated. Like in USA, like you have those accounts that pop up that are like, if the man doesn't fly me in or put me in a 5-star hotel, like it's over. Like their entitlement, which it works for a lot of them. There's a lot of dudes willing to do it. That mindset is kind of permeated through a lot of different places. But it was fascinating to me hearing what you were discussing, because about how turmoil and messed up the economy is, that people are like, damn, like survival and the new class of how you make things happen is just getting the gringo and using them, which a lot of them deserve it. Okay, especially the dudes that lie. Okay, if you're Mr. Oh, I just moved here and I'm staying here for whatever, and be very obtuse and not just like straight up like, hey, I'll probably be here for this amount of time. Okay, I'm looking to meet nice people, share good vibes. If we connect, that's great. But I'm probably not going to move here my whole life. So as long as you're upfront with it, then it's no one's fault. Like it's not like you're selling a dream. Okay. And a lot of people respect it. They understand it. They're interested in new cultures. They're like, oh, this would be cool. Like, yeah, let's have a good time. Let me show you my home, and you have some money, so you can go to some nice places. They give some different experiences. But, this happens a lot.
I for sure. And I actually just talked to a young kid from the UK, and I gave him that spiel, which is like, he was telling me about girls in certain places, the typical young guy, like, I've been doing well in Latin America. And I'm like, are you telling these girls that like you're here for the long run? And he's like, yeah, of course, and then moving on to the next. I'm like, you cannot be, because that's what causes the issues. Like eventually over time, you have too many of those guys that come in here and say they're staying here for too long, but they're just moving from one girl to the next. You're socially jading these girls. And you're causing the issue, when a majority, like I was like 95% of the time, if you just tell them, hey, I'm here for this amount of time, or I'm here for 2 months, 4 weeks, like most girls are like, oh, that's enough time for us to like hang out and do something, or you to show me my city. They're totally fine with that, especially in these smaller places, these tier 2, tier 3 cities. They don't see as many foreigners, so they want to show you around and they want to hang out with you, because it's also a small knit community. They're all hanging out with the same people, so they like being in like a different atmosphere and being around different people. So it's enjoyable to them to kind of step out of their own original circle. But if you lie to them and you do that, like you're jading them. You shouldn't be doing that, because in general, they're still going to be happy to hang out and show you the city. So I completely agree on that front. The more honest you are, it's still going to be a very high percentage that want to hang out with you, as long as you're not here for like 5 days.
You're risking things. Yeah, it could work for a couple girls here and there, but it's gonna come and catch you, dude. One person knows the next person, or one girl has a family that has power. Like, dude, you're playing with freaking fire if you're lying to these people. And just like in life, you don't want to be a total douchebag everywhere you go. Okay, you can be stern with people, especially now, like when you're on the road. It's not like if you don't like someone or you have a bad experience, it's not like you have to keep seeing them again at work or something, right? So you can just tell them like, hey, no, I'm not about this. I don't like this. Hey, have a nice life. You can move on fast. But the second you start losing your morality and thinking, okay, well, it's never going to come back to me, it will, big time, okay? So no matter how many times you get screwed over, because the same thing happens to the gringo. So it's like a cycle, okay? You know, like the Gringo gets burnt here, then he burns them, then she burns the next Gringo, that Gringo burns everyone else. It's like that nasty cycle, and if you have to just try to step out of it, okay? No matter how hurt you get, no matter how, oh, if I just tell her this, you know, it'll be easy to get a nut off. Like, you got to try to be mature. It's going to come back. It's going to hurt you. It's going to not feel good. So be very careful, okay? I'm telling you, especially in 2025, no matter where you are in the world, honesty is everything now. If women love when someone just says, hey, this is kind of how I am. This is what's going on. And if you like it, great. If you don't, Hakuna Matata, I wish you the best. Trust me, you don't need to be a bullshitter and pickup artist, weirdo type of guy in 2025.
No, I mean, 100% agree. Those like keeping a good relationship by being honest is going to be way better. You're going to meet more people through them. Like you can still come back to the city and have people to hang around and be around. They'll introduce you to friends. Like way better to be honest and treat the relationship good. And like you said, sometimes it's great when you meet a good girl and you can take them on a trip. Like there might be girls that have been in Santa Cruz that have never been out to Semaipata, like 3 hours away, or Sucre, or another city in Bolivia. And it's like, that's a pretty easy trip for you to make, and you can have someone that speaks the language or you can take them places, and that's an experience that they're going to remember. So it's like the relationship and like being cool and honest is way better. And if you want someone to go with or to go with you to travel, it's like you have someone to do it with as well. So it's like, why burn the bridge for one fun night? You know, it just doesn't make sense. But yeah, that's good takes there.
I can't just tell dudes that not slinging around, because I was completely reckless when I first came to Latin America, which I think everyone needs a taste of, especially when you're young. Hopefully you don't get too lost in the sauce and, you know, do something that fucks with you the rest of your life, like whether it's having a kid, getting a disease, or, you know, getting shot or beat up by someone's boyfriend, husband. I mean, there's crazy stuff that happens here, but you gotta learn to just slow it down or use other means of release, or, you know, getting off in your head, because it's a dangerous game. It's a slippery slope. We see it in Medellin, in Colombia, dudes getting drugged left and right. That I won't be too worried about. If you have some sort of awareness or not really stupid, you don't have to worry about getting set up. Like, you'll know when someone's going to try to set you up or try to bring you to the barrio, or...
You should. You should. But like, even with the entitlement of women, it can be pretty obvious when they're like just kind of using you to, you know, if all they want to do is go to the nicest 5 restaurants in the city, and they want, let's go to the mall. You know, those are the things that they want to do, is go to the mall and the nicest stuff. It's like, in your mind, you should be like, okay. Because then they're going to try to bait you, you know, things like that. And so,
But if you're a dude that's just trying to hook up with these girls, then you can't be mad at them, because, I mean, they're trying to get something out of it. You know, it's basically soft core hoeing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You shouldn't have a problem taking them out every once in a while if your plan is to hook up with them. I mean, to be honest, like, you pay for some food and whatever, and they hang out, and there's some company for you. Like, both, it's a transactional. I don't know.
A lot of the times it is. So that's
you're both benefiting from it in that sense. If you look at it
so
that
that's
way.
not the type of the relationship you want. Then okay, then don't talk to those women, or make it very clear, right? But don't be that guy who's like, I just want to hook up with these girls, and then when you get treated like a trick, like, get mad about it, because this is what's happening. These are the people you're going after. These are people maybe you're flashing money. A lot of gringos do that too. I got all this money. Okay, then they get mad when they start treating them like sugar daddy. So it's always about the person, dude. It's always about your internal vibe and all that, and then the external world shows you a reflection. Okay, so my whole point was, okay, be careful down here. If you want to get lost in the sauce, Hakuna Matata, be honest about it. Okay. I think a lot of people will be okay with it and join you on that quest to get lost in the sauce, but just stop being snaky. No one likes a fucking snake, okay? No one, I'll teach you how to do English. You know, that's like the worst thing ever. Can I just like hang out with you and I'll teach you English? I mean, what are you talking about? Like, it's the dumbest shit. So, yeah, just be an honest dude, and everything will be Hakuna Matata.
100%. I agree with you on that one.
But I just thought it was super interesting that, you know, because of Bolivia's economy going crazy, that maybe there's like an influencer now in Bolivia saying, hey, you know, you got to get right, and here's how you trick these stupid gringos, and they come here and, you know, they do all this dumb stuff, so it's time to get like revenge on them. I guarantee there's some stuff going on in Bolivian TikTok like that.
I haven't seen anything on social specifically, but I've seen a couple people, other people's opinions since being here that are similar to mine as well, or at least what I've experienced. Some of the girls are they seem a little bit more high maintenance, or like even a situation that I had, like me and Jack went out to a bar. I said, invite a couple friends, like 2-3 friends. They brought like 6 people. Of course, we gotta like cover it. I mean, it's not expensive, but at the same time, it's kind of like I was like, how many people you bring in? 2, 3, and then 5 more people come. So just like certain things like that. Just seeing it happen a couple times, and there's it seems to be like a little entitlement here and there. But other than that, good experience with a majority of the girls here wanting to show you around or wanting to hang out. It's not like bad by any means.
Yeah, if someone brought 5-6 people when they said they're going to bring like 2, another stuff you told me is that's when you have to put your foot down and say, hey, look, okay, I'm not going to put up with this. I'm not dealing with this. If this is what you want, okay, go over there. It was nice to meet you. I had a great time. But if this is all you're interested in, then it stops right here and there. And a lot of the times when you do that to those type of girls, in a couple days or maybe in a week, hey, Zach, okay, you're right. Like, can I come over and let's just hang out? And, you were honest. You're a nice guy and all that kind of shit. If not, they don't talk to you and you lucked out, right? So you just gotta put your foot down. That's just what it comes to. And if you can't put your foot down, you have no abundance. Okay, you're scared that this is if I lose her, I'm lost in life, or I can't get anything else. You know what I mean? But don't put up with shit behavior. You just can't. Like for men, for women, for any of that stuff, that is lacking abundance, and you need to. That says everything you need to know about yourself. If you can't put your foot down when people take advantage of you.
Yeah, and it can be different in a bunch of different countries. Like Argentina, girls like to split the bill, like they try to pay. Like in other countries, like I know here, it's very similar to like U.S. standards too. Like guys always pay. They always do that. Where other countries, it can still be split and split. So sometimes just understanding the culture and having conversations with the locals to even figure out like what's normal, especially if you're new to it all. But you figure it out over time, I'm sure, as well. So.
Hey, I'm curious what you think about that Hormozi. He did the 100 million book sale thing, and everyone was saying, oh, he wasn't going to sell anything for the last 5 years. He kept telling us that, and then boom, made 100 million. Obviously, he was genius, and he's a master marketer and all that. But you've been in with these guys and watched their videos forever and know that whole scene. Tell me about how that Hormozi thing went down and your thoughts.
I mean, respect to Hormozi. I mean, he's obviously people can still run the same plays. I mean, a lot of people do run that same exact, process. A lot of people are doing webinars, but making $100 million off of pretty much selling a high ticket package that just came with a pre-built AI, 100 books that you could give out to people that he framed as a tax write-off, which if you guys do not know, if you invest in your business anyways, it's still considered a tax write-off. But he just used that as a sales tactic. So people are like, holy cow, I can't believe he did that. It's like, I've used that on sales calls all the time. A lot of people do. But Hormozi is just so good at presenting it. He's a great salesman. He's a great marketer. Yes, he did an insane amount of content the last 5 years too. I'm not going to sell you anything. That entire time though, he's still selling acquisition.com, 15K, 25K packages. He's still doing masterminds every month. Like he's still making money because the value he's providing, also the information that he speaks it at, he makes it all makes sense to people. He speaks at a very high level where it makes sense to a lot of people. He's just very good at what he does. People can run that same play. They're not going to do 100 million. Like it's insane. Like him doing 100 million in pretty much a day, 2-3 days, because he kept going, is incredible. So respect to Hormozi. I think he's great at what he does. But yeah, that's just the entire time he's still been selling. And so yeah, he's just great at what he does. But I think it's very impressive. Now a lot of people are basically they just hopped on the live calls to see how he was doing it. They were basically funnel hacking him. How is he setting up this presentation? How is he, going through his responses? How is he answering questions? How is he getting through objections? Like people just hopped on just to see how he was operating. So I know a lot of the online business people did that.
Did he give like a Hormozi AI agent for you? Like, so you can ask him questions. Is that what you say? A pre-built AI?
Yeah, like the 6K high ticket package was like 100 copies of the book that you could
Yeah.
send out, which is why you see on Twitter, hey, I got 100 copies, retweet this and I'll send you one. Um, and then it was like a AI, which is just like a chat GPT, white
Yeah,
label,
but you really,
essentially.
I'm doing one right now in real estate, and you freaking put a shit ton of information in there, and you get way different answers than ChatGPT. So like, if you program it or prompt it right and download all the knowledge or whatever, they're actually legit, dude. So that's what I'm asking. So maybe they
I
can
mean,
do
I didn't do it. I haven't even watched it. I haven't funnel hacked it yet. I didn't buy it. So I'm curious to see if other people, I've seen some people doing videos on YouTube though, talking about, I asked Alex Hormozi's AI the fastest way to get to 10,000 a month or 20,000 a month or build my business. I haven't watched the videos, but I've seen people utilizing that even for their own content. So I'm curious how good it is. And I think it comes with a community or something, or like a 12-week live calls. But imagine how many people bought that to be on a live call to not ask questions. Like it's just another massive webinar. And then from there, he had a 15K upsell, I believe. And then the people that got into that also had a 25K upsell that they only got emails from if they opted into that. So when you hear that stuff too, you start understanding, oh, this is how people are making even more money off of a initial offer, then a upsell, then a order bump, another, and then it's just understanding the process of business. Like it's not just the content. Like there's a lot of systems, there's a lot of thinking that goes into it as well. So it's really cool, interesting.
And a dude that has all those videos, I guarantee you for that AI, the AI transcribed all that stuff. They put it through the thing, like downloaded his brain basically into the AI and replicated it. I'm doing it right now. I got to show you this after. It's unbelievable what is happening. And
I
it's
honestly,
info,
I,
it's super
I bet
niche.
that is. Jeremy Haynes, everyone knows Jeremy Haynes on Money Twitter. He's a big guy. He has a crazy mastermind. Guys like, Bader, Ryan Klog, who's blown up from, his YouTube from Twitter, has had Jeremy Haynes on a couple times. I know in his like high ticket group, he basically has an AI that they did the same thing. They uploaded like all of his YouTube videos and his transcriptions, and people can literally ask it questions that they would ask him on a live call, and people have been like, dude, it's actually pretty incredible. Like the information it gives you, all of his strategies, his hammer strategies, his follow-up strategies, and like all that information is in there. So it very well could be just like that. And I think Hormozi, he wrote like 10 other books. That's the impressive thing. He wrote every single book. Like, so he has the main book, the $100 million models, but then he also has like the $100 million prospecting, the $100 million funnels, which I think he just followed the blueprint of Russell Brunson, who's ClickFunnels. Many people know Russell Brunson from ClickFunnels, which is where everyone builds these landing pages. A lot of people, they get the $1 million plaques, the $10 million plaques. Like it's a very same process of Russell Brunson having multiple different books in different areas. But that's also impressive is Hormozi, he didn't have someone write his books for him. He wrote every single book, which is like a lot of work and effort and time. So the 100 million is probably well deserved for how the man works and
Hey,
operates.
his acquisition.com, did he make legit money on that? Or he was buying businesses and redoing them? But most of his money comes from info, selling, right?
Now, but I also think he's like an investor. So acquisition.com now invests into businesses and they take an equity partnership on it. But I do believe he was on a podcast and they asked him like, by the way, like how much did you actually get from the sale or do you have liquid? And I think it was like, 70, 80 million. So he got,
Before info.
almost, yeah, when he sold his business.
Okay, I have a question. Let's talk about this stuff. There's a lot of dudes hate on course sellers, info people, but then the other dudes that make a ton of money are like, dude, it's the easiest overhead, it's the most efficient. Every freaking rich person did it, Trump did it, everyone does it, and it's it caps at a certain point, but they say all roads lead to info. I saw someone tweet that. Overall, where do you see this info space going, and do you think it is like the number one best thing I mean, WAP is taken off, or yeah, what is it called, WAP, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Iman
but
Ghazi just became a partner in it too.
but
So,
overall, what do you think about that info, and where do you think it's going?
I mean, yeah, info is great. Why not be able to sell information and make money off of it? It's high margin. The reason why people transition to it is it's high margin, but it's also you get to actually help people. There's more value involved with it. When you have an agency and you're dealing with clients, as we know, like the SMMA, the marketing gold rush, everyone tried to have a marketing agency. And so you deal with churn with marketing agencies, and you also deal with annoying clients. I'm sorry guys, but having clients sucks because they always want, the grass is always greener. They always have someone in their inbox promoting a better guarantee, better results. So it's like you can be getting amazing results even with an agency, even with a business, and they're going to leave at some point unless they have some type of, trust with you, which most people don't. They have someone promising guarantees. They have, all of that. So it's a lot easier to work with someone on info who seriously wants to change their life or build a business, and you can coach them up and you get more fulfillment out of that. So yeah, info is great. It has better margins. You can have more of a lean team and you don't have to deal with as many headache clients. So yeah, info is great. I think a lot of people are getting worn out by info because so many people have been screwed over by the Miami core sellers. The people that you buy something, they're looking for short term. So yeah, there's people that will go into it and sell short term stuff and have a shitty product or have no fulfillment. And a lot of people feel like, they spent $2,000 of their last $4,000 in their bank account and they got nothing out of it or no value or no live calls. People are kind of jaded with that. But I don't see there shouldn't be a problem with people investing in info because most people understand the reason they went to college and they invested to go to college to get an average degree, an average job, and they spent way more money than $1,000 on a course or $5,000 on a coaching program. And they had someone teach them about business and economics who have never even had a job in business or been in economics. And they're teaching you what you're learning in school. So yeah, I don't see any problem. I don't know why people have so much hate. I think the people that are going to have success are going to find ways to make normal things seem different. So the way that you market it, the way that you present it, rather than a course, or you say it's a development program or something, like you have to find a way to market it different so you seem different than the majority. But yeah, I think it's going to keep growing, but I think we're going to still have these ebbs and flows of high trust and then low trust.
Yeah, because my whole thing is I don't think I've ever I haven't, like a course or a packet, or I've bought books, okay?
No digital products?
I can't remember ever doing this. So I always thought who's buying this shit? Because in my mind, I'm like, hey, I have everything on the internet, and then you and a couple other people be like, hey, but you could cut through all the bullshit, have it out for you. You can leapfrog from learning from different people. But I've never been in the mindset of, yeah, I'm gonna spend $5,000 to this dude, and it's gonna solve all my issues. Is this a masses thing? Now I'm starting to understand, okay, maybe it is good. I get in with them and I'm in their mastermind and all that, but I still haven't done it. I'm like, fuck it, I just do it myself, or I have, I don't trust these people, okay? But time is money. I learned that as I get older and so forth, but it just seems like we saw Andrew Tate to the Hustlers University thing got leaked, and it was millions and millions of Indian names on there, right? So is this the main target audience of info people is dudes down to their last dollar, and they're like, okay, if I just buy this course, I'm going to get rich. Who are these people buying all this stuff? It's crazy to me.
Yeah, it's that is one thing with info. I think one thing that will not work moving forward, it still does, but is the lifestyle marketing. People are getting sick of the rapper chains, the Rolexes, the rented cars. And the people that do that, they get you on the fast cash, the course, all of that information because they don't have to fulfill it. And so 100%, you're going to see people that are getting sick of that because, in my opinion, I had a tweet about this. I've had reels about it. I have YouTube videos about it. It's when has there ever been a business guy that I've looked up to that is flashing rapper chains and flashing Lambos, and that's their only method of marketing? The people that are doing that are now starting to recognize that the quality of their customer sucks. These are the people that want everything done for them. They'll buy it and they'll still complain. They'll buy a course and they'll go through 10% of it. 70% of course sales, people don't even go through the information. So it's usually starting with the individual. The reason why people invest in it though is it's once you throw a lot of money in something, you kind of have to do something. Yeah. Right? So it gives you that. The people that are also going to keep killing it with info is implementation. Because a lot of these things, a lot of people don't understand because that's the way marketing is. They try to make it seem easy. They want you to make it seem easy. They want it to make it seem like it's fast and quick cash. But there's so many systems. There's so many things of outreach. There's so many ways that you have to get clients that they don't talk about. And then once someone gets into a course or a community, even with live calls, they're like, oh my God, this is a lot of work. Shit, I don't want to do all this work. So the people that can build a team, because if you are selling info, it's still a lot of work. You still have to get fulfillment. You still have to get people results. And if people aren't willing to take action, right, it makes things harder. And it takes way more time out of your day and your business. So the people that build a team that can help with that, or they take people that have gotten results and they're like, hey, I'm going to give you some equity in the business to, you can market it and you can help with coaching and things like that. And they help with true fulfillment, which is getting people results or doing things for them, setting up landing pages, having systems that they can implement in their business. Those are the info people that are going to keep scaling and growing and doing better. Now, the other people that don't have fulfillment, they're going to start dropping off because they don't care. They just want the quick cash. And they're just the way that they cycle that in is just by lifestyle marketing. Now let's buy a $10,000 Rolex, flex this on here. Let's go sell it back 2 months later. Like it's crazy game.
You told me too, also, like every 2 years you have to find a new offer, right? Or switch freaking what they're selling because the old stuff is out. And these info sellers, it's a never ending cycle, isn't it? They get to strike while it's hot and they move on to the next thing.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen a lot of people that have been in the business game for the last 6, 7, 8 years, and you can still market it. But yeah, sometimes the iron is hot for a certain business model. A certain business model might be hot and you just got to run it till you can keep making money off of it, and then eventually transition into maybe something that is similar to that or market it different. Because once your message has been thrown to the masses and people see it doing well, right, there's another 10 of you. There's 20 people in your group or your community that start doing the same thing, or they start running ads, and the message becomes the same thing over and over, and then the market becomes saturated and the customer becomes saturated because they've seen it so much. So you either have to find another business model or another area of info or another thing that is striking hot and jumping on the bandwagon, or finding something that correlates with, what you're currently doing to make more money. So yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of people transition into different businesses every year, 2 years, 3 years, because you're just going with what's hot. And especially right now, things move quickly with AI and technology.
Okay, let me ask you this. Out of 10, what percentage of products that you have bought you were like, damn, this was worth my money? And give me a couple pieces of info that you paid for that have stuck with you that actually really helped you out.
I'd say like it's a 50% hit rate. I mean, you guys can hop on like a ton of YouTube videos of people talking about, hey, I've spent 6 figures in info. I've spent 400 grand in information, and this is my experience with it. Yeah, you're going to have things that you don't like or you don't get value out of or don't work, but you're also going to have things that completely change your concept of business or help you set up systems in your business or understand who to hire, or people that actually give value, like people that continue to provide more value and bring more people in their group. And it's also, when you join these things, it's a great way for you to connect with other business owners. You can find partners that way. Like it's way easier to find people that maybe can build you landing pages through these groups. That's what they're really good at. Maybe you guys partner together on something, so you can build relationships, new friendships. All of that is a positive of info because it allows you to be around other people that are actually serious about what you want to learn and what you want to do, and you can keep learning from each other. So a network is huge. I mean, there's been a lot of stuff in the credit side of things in terms of different data points with certain banks that have been really helpful. A lot of like understanding the systems and the processes of some of these businesses. Like some of you guys might see someone doing $1 million a month or $500,000 a month. You do not understand how much actually goes into that until you're in it. You have a sales teams, you have a sales manager, you have setters, you have systems, you have an operations guy, you have a CTO. There's always something breaking. So when you want to build something that big, you also got to understand what goes into it. You got to find the right people and who to hire. Like same thing with Clog on YouTube. Ryan Clog, I created it. He said he created those YouTube so that he could source opportunity. So he could source people to put in his business that were A players, and it's been working really well. So sometimes you might sell or create content or sell info or do all of that and get in front of the camera so that you can find the right people. I know someone in my space who other businesses have failed, and because he's created content and done well, the same businesses or business models of people doing bad business, their employees have came to him to work for him because they're not getting paid or things aren't doing well in that business. So then you're able to find people to fit into places to keep growing your business. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be distraught or like jaded if you don't like a couple of things. But at the end of the day, if you're buying info, it is actually up to you to take action on the info. You can't expect someone to hold your hand. You still have to ask the questions. You still have to network and connect with people in the community. I met a lot of people that I know through these communities, and that, just that, has been better than the actual information, the people I've met. You know, and they connect me with people that are doing well, or hey, this is a better option, or they provide me value just because we're friends and we connected there on calls and all of that. So the network is actually a bigger component of some of these things than the information sometimes.
Okay, last thing. Good stuff. Now that you've been on the road for a while, what would you think the top 5 Wi-Fi money areas would be? Would you get a quick sales job for one of these guys? Would you be a setter? Tell me, what would you give advice to dudes that want to get into the whole Wi-Fi money thing? Because you've done everything, dude. You've done a lot of the high ticket sales stuff. You've worked for all these different companies. Give me 5 things that you think are the best right now. And give me a timetable for like these to make $3-4 grand a month. When you get $3-4 grand a month, you can start getting out everywhere, right? You can basically live in most of the world and start, living for cheap and so forth.
100%. I mean, if you're going to think about doing this, a lot of things that are being pushed require skills. And the only way to really build those skills, and also what goes on into a business, if you're looking at working remotely, if you're looking at making money and traveling, I mean, you should, if you don't have sales skills already, you should be a DM setter. You're essentially sending messages for these people in qualifying leads. You could do that, make 2, 3, 4K a month, just qualifying leads in the DMs. The next step of that is being a setter. The same thing. You're calling people, you're having a conversation for 5 to 10 minutes, you're qualifying them before they're on top of, or before they're scheduling a call with a closer. So that whole model is going to be great for you just to understand what goes into a business, because you're working for a company that's doing 50 grand a month, 100 grand a month, 500 grand a month, and you're understanding the whole structure. And if you're in that, then you can figure out areas like building a funnel, or, hey, can I run your email marketing? You have a bunch of emails of people opting in. Maybe you don't have anyone doing that. Maybe we can get some more sales there. That's where you can find other avenues of doing business and making more money, but you're also understanding the structure. So if you're completely new to all of it, sales is a good way to go. And then you can build from there. The growth operating model that everyone, likes to push, or that went hot a year ago, and now like Ben Bader on Twitter is now, he's changed kind of the way of marketing it as well. But that takes skills. That takes understanding systems and setting up Zapier automations and setting up funnels and understanding copywriting. You don't just learn that in 30 days. You learn that with sales and understanding sales calls and other places that you can implement. So that's like a transition period. And from there, a lot of sales reps, it is still a lot of work. You're not hopping on calls for 4 hours a day and then you're chilling by the beach. You're on 6, 8 calls, even more, 10, 12, depending on who you're working for. And a lot of people, once they start making good cash, they take that cash and they try to get into an agency, or they try to get into e-com, right? So that's a good model. I'd still 100% say you should get into a sales group, invest in a sales group, get a business credit card, utilize a business credit card, 0% for 12 months, invest in a sales group, because then you can get different sales jobs. You can also get training. I think Closer Cartel is pretty good. I think Serial Sales is good.
You invest in one of these groups and they plug you with some dude to start
selling. They can, but they have training. Like if you're completely new to it, you don't understand how to DM set or how to set a call and qualify people. And like closing is it's human psychology, especially if you're selling info. So I did tech sales. I've done B2C for a lot of these info offers as well, two different types of sales. I mean, they're completely different, the way that you handle them. So yeah, I think that's a good model. Personally, I think like TikTok Shop is great because you don't have to run a business. You just have to learn how to create content. If you start making money on that, you can create your own info on TikTok Shop. A lot of people are doing that. But if you make 10, 15 grand, great. You don't have to do anything but learn how to create content. And that's going to help you as well build the skill of creating content, grabbing attention. And so I think TikTok Shop's good. Sales is good. What else we got? I mean, a lot of people do freelance stuff, but you got to have some skills with that. A lot of people talk on Amazon automation, or not Amazon, not automation, don't do automation, but Amazon. But in my opinion, you probably need to be in the US to do that until you've built up a system and the margins are really, really slim. Right now, AI, if you can figure out how to utilize AI and even not just be an overall like AI agency where you just do everything under the sun, choose like a specific market and speak to those people in that market, understand, hey, what are you struggling with in terms of your systems, in terms of AI, what do you need help with, what do you feel like you need to always hire for, and then find an avenue in lawyers or psychiatrists or something a little bit more high ticket, where they're willing to pay you $1-2 or do things for free initially to build out the service and go through an avenue instead of just being an everyone fits all. Because the riches are in the niches too. Sometimes when you find a niche specifically, like a lot of people do email marketing, but they'll do email marketing for e-commerce, right? Specifically e-commerce, specifically a certain industry. And so if you can do that and focus on an industry, it makes your outreach easier. It makes you not a one size fits all for everyone. And you can kind of create a name for you. So there's a lot of different things, but if you're just getting green, man, I mean, straight up sales. Like you can live this lifestyle at $3,000 to $5,000 a month. You can make your way up as a setter. You can make your way up as a closer. If you like that vibe, if you like sales full time, you keep doing it and make good cash flow. But the best way you're going to get good opportunities is going to be joining, groups and communities and being connected with other sales reps and being connected with other people that can help you understand sales and the process of it. So, I mean, that'd be my take on some of the online business models that would fit for someone just kind of looking to do a travel nomadic lifestyle and make money online.
Beautiful, Zach. You have anything else or not? We got a lot of good content all over the place here, but it's fun doing these.
I don't know. Let me check your. I think we pretty much hit on anything. What about talk about your little how electronics are expensive in Brazil? You're making some cash trading electronics.
Oh yeah, we kind of did numbers today, but if anyone doesn't know, Brazil's isolation economy is just comical, and electronics here are like 3 times the price in USA, even Paraguay. So whenever you come here, just come in here with multiple phones, multiple laptops, cameras. I've never been checked once. Supposedly some dude said now you can have 3 personal things. I don't think that's true, but I had a drone from Paraguay, first one. Zach, he taught me how to fly it, and I crashed it in Fortaleza. And the drone guy, he bought it for me for like $75 less than when I paid. I mean, it was totally trash. They had a new part that might go in and out whenever, and that part cost alone like $300. So I was like, okay, whatever. Yeah, just give me my money back basically. And then I had someone bring more drones from Paraguay, and I already talked to him. I was like, yeah, I'll buy those from you for double the price, or for the Brazilian price, which is about double than in Paraguay. And I've done this before. Like my buddy he had like an iPhone selling network here, and he was slinging phones every time he went back to the USA. But the policies here, the taxes here are just mind-bogglingly dumb because they have no industry, right? Like,
Yeah.
and this is for like everything. They're big. It's like a resource extract country from like a neo-colonial economy still, right? Where the top 0.01% are richer than God, and everyone else is barely floating or living in favelas. And so they hamper on the tariffs. They had tariffs way before Trump went after them, right? And it's just easy money. Like come in here with your old shit, dump it, Then I have someone coming down here, depending on what happens this weekend. And I'm gonna have them bring multiple different electronics that I want. New MacBooks, dude. The MacBook Air 4 is like $900 on Amazon right now, and the MacBook Pro, nice one, is like only $1,600, but it's like super better. And I'm just like, this is ridiculous. Like here, obviously it's extreme prices, but I have 3 laptops on me. Just gonna dump them all here, and then have someone bring in new laptops for me to have, right? And it's basically like you get to use a product for 6 months, for how long you stay in Brazil, and then sell it for double. I mean, it's the easiest thing to do. I updated the DJI camera, the vlog camera, so I'm selling my Pocket 2. Probably gonna sell that for.
Are you getting the Pocket 3 now?
Yeah, it's amazing.
The one that I have?
Yeah, Pocket 3 is
Yeah,
legit.
it's nice.
I had them pick it up in Paraguay for me. But yeah, if you're ever in Brazil, man, just freaking bring a bunch of electronics, not like a whole freaking suitcase, even though I had someone do that for me, and then just sell it when you leave, okay? Because you'll make a nice chunk of change and Hakuna Matata.
And you guys will see if you visit Fort de Iguazu or on the Paraguay side, like it's a running border. It's like the people from Brazil are going over there to buy as much technology, bring it back over, and sell it for 2x the price, and they're doing that nonstop every day.
You see moto dudes with like TVs on their back, like huge boxes. I mean, just on this friendship bridge thing.
I will say though, like from the online money stuff, like if I know we usually talk about travel and all that on here, but if you guys are like interested in getting into online money and you're a U.S. citizen and you have good credit and access to credit, you can get business credit to then invest in yourself for online money. So you could get a business credit card, which does not report to your personal credit and lets you get 20, 30K on a card. You can use 5, 10 grand of that to invest in a coach or a mentorship to show you exactly how they're doing Amazon, or to invest in a sales group or community. And you're going to pay it off, because as long as you take action, you could literally work one sales job in 1 month and have you invested 5K and make 5K. You can make 10K the next month. So you're going to be able to pay it off. And the cool thing is it's 0% for 12, 18 months, 6, 12, 18 months. And you only have to pay 1% of that minimum payment until the 0% is up. So if you spend 20 grand, you only got to pay $200 a month. So it's more of, if you are interested in that, you want to be able to have someone answer your questions. You join a community, there's a certain type of business model that you're actually like interested in and you're serious about. Stick to that business model. Don't fall into the trap of shiny object syndrome. I will tell you that from personal experience. And right now, with just like tons of content, don't just jump onto the next model that's being marketed. Stick with one thing, 6, 12 months, but you have the greatest leverage possible, where you can literally access money at 0% with a 1% minimum payment and invest in yourself. And if you're actually serious about it, you're going to make your money back, and you're going to be glad you didn't spend freaking 3 years to try to save up for like some fucking rental property, when you can make 5, 10, 20 grand on a business model that you stuck to. So I will say that again on the credit side. And as always, I mean, you could do it on your own. You can do it on your own, but you'll probably get low limits, or you don't know that your credit report needs to be set up a certain way. But if you work with the guy with these cool glasses that were $7 in Paraguay, then we can help you get some better stuff. But yeah, I'm saying it's a cheat code, guys. So if you guys should look into it. And guess what? Then you get to travel for free, like me and Runes, as well, because you'll hit sign-up bonuses. You'll get points.
If anything, if you travel and you're not using your cards, you need to talk to Zach. I mean, he's done a shit ton for me on this aspect, so I would do that. And then hopefully he upsells you into these bigger ticket things. But what he's saying is not stupid, too. And I think that if you take out a freaking loan, you're going to be focused, okay? Like, you're going to be like, damn, I got to get on.
It's not even a loan. But even then, you can hire video editors. You can hire people to handle the back-end systems, the things that you don't know, the software. Now you're not like second guessing, oh, this GHL cost me $100 a month, or like this editor cost me $10 a video. That's right. You have a runway to create content and create systems. And maybe you just need someone to tell you that. Like for me, I didn't outsource for a long time. I tried to do everything myself. The smartest thing I should be doing and can be doing, that I've started doing, is by utilizing the same stuff to hire people on to do things that I don't want to spend time doing. And that helps you create faster, do more things, right? Invest in yourself. So
I've always been a master.
The cheat code. Yeah, Nick is a master of outsourcing. Let's just say that.
But I will say this, and my father was right, because like I've been doing this since I was very young, like playing the game. But he's like, dude, you need to learn it. You need to understand some aspects. So then you know what you want, you know how much it should cost, you can quickly fix it if they fuck up, or you're not reliant on them. Like, they hold you hostage,
Yeah.
these people. So he was 110% right. You gotta learn it, but in the second you learn it, and the second you made some money, outsource it as soon as possible, because you're wasting so much freaking time,
Yeah.
doing it when you can hire someone in freaking, wherever, doing it for 1/10 the price, right? So time
Yeah.
over money, you'll obviously learn that the more you get older, and that's what kind of info has clicked in my head. I still haven't bought anything, but it's like, damn, you're right. If I would have learned this 5 years ago, okay, I'd have way more money. You know what I mean? But instead, I was hard headed, or like, fuck, I'm not going to pay this dork over here. And but there's also pros to that. Like, I don't regret it. And there's, because like you said, the shiny object syndrome, or these dudes that it's always, they're looking, oh my God, he's the one that's going to save me, and this guy's going to save me. But I was always like, no.
You jade yourself. You become jaded if you invest in too many things and don't take action on it. And then you're like, well, this didn't work, this didn't work, this didn't work. That's a bad loop to be in when you're expecting quick success, but you're only putting 30 days into something, and then you're looking for the next thing. Like, no, I mean, and you make a good point with the outsourcing. There's a lot of people that I've met that have freelance agencies or marketing agencies out here traveling that they outsource literally 80% of it. Like, they don't handle the fulfillment. They have team members, offshore team members that they pay to handle a lot of the fulfillment and get the results. Okay. Now you have to initially do that, but that's also the whole point of sales, which is you don't want to outsource sales even if you don't like it, because you need to understand what your customer wants, what they're looking for, handling the objections. And then when you spend money on ads or getting clients, you're not wasting money because you just expect this salesperson to come in there and just do exactly what you do. Like, eventually you can outsource. Eventually you can, especially these little things like video editing. It's like you can take examples and throw it to people and be like, can you create this? You don't need to do that. You just have to have a visual of those things. But there's certain things like sales that you should handle, because it is your business and it is your requirement to understand what your customers want, your clients want, and the objections that come up. So you can teach a sales rep. And then when you grow, you can eventually have a sales rep come in there. But that is, a great thing. Outsource those things that you don't want to spend your time on. You focus on sales. You focus on closing the calls for 3, 5, 10K or whatever your packages are. And you can handle someone that does cold email for you, or does outreach, or cold outreach, or does the content, right? You record, you send it to them, they edit it for you. So, I mean, once you understand how to use these things to your advantage, and you have at least, a little bit of experience in business, you're gonna be able to benefit from it for sure.
The amount of things that you can do now with AI and outsourcing, you can take over the world compared to 20 years ago, 15 years ago. So if you just learn these basic things, I mean, you have a freaking army behind you with the AI and the outsourced workers that we're lucky, beyond lucky. And if you want to do this stuff, like, it's easily there for the taking. I would highly recommend it, because then also we go into the whole, okay, when you leave the United States, you're like, damn, life is actually stupid freaking cheap, and I can save, I can invest. Like, it's not, your mind shatters once you leave. And it's not saying I'm going to leave forever or that the U.S. is bad, but we're so freaking blessed to come from USA, and, with the credits, with the opportunity, with everything we just discussed right now. So if you're not taking advantage of that opportunity, like Zach said in our podcast, don't do the old way. The old way is dead, but this new way is alive and on steroids, and 99.9999% of history couldn't even imagine the position that we are given right now.
Insane. Yeah, agree. And imagine like a freaking year and a half ago if we didn't have AI. Like, think about how much you use AI right now and how fast that's happened. Like, man, if you can figure out AI, implement it in your business, find ways to help other people, it's crazy. And it's only going to get better. It's only going to get faster.
Dude, the craziest thing, though, do you see all those big businesses like, oh, we don't think AI is going to be that good now. We're cutting losses. Now everyone online's like, oh, yeah, AI is dead. 2 weeks ago was, if you don't master AI in a year, you're going to be broke for your eternity and you're going to be bottom class forever. But obviously that's not the case. I think everyone sees the writing on the wall. That's not, stupid. And maybe it was just to keep the masses at check. But did you see that, dude?
I did see that. But I think it's because they're going in there saying this is going to cover it's going to do exactly what your previous employer or employee did. And it's not at that level where it can just take over someone's complete job. But what it's doing is it's making people get work done faster, check through the work faster. So it's like, instead before you might have had 20 employees for all this data, and now you can split that in 10 because they don't all have to work 8 to 10 hours a day. they can work 6 hours a day and they can go through this information, double check it way faster. And that's the only thing. It's like once you find the areas to use it where it can optimize your time, right? I mean, even anyone who's using it now understands that. Like I use it to translate, I use it to go over hooks, I use it to go over content, I use it to optimize the way I'm setting up my business, like margins, like all that stuff. It can help a ton. Even with medical stuff, law stuff, like you'd have to search Google for that shit. Now you can send it in and you'll know exactly if your accountant or your lawyer is wrong or a medical thing is wrong. You know, it's crazy.
It's literally so taking away the entry level, the junior guys, like they don't need those people anymore. But it's putting the dudes.
They just don't need as much. Yeah, they don't need as much.
It's dudes that are intelligent that you can use this to freaking skyrocket. The masses, yeah, you're probably going to be in some trouble if you don't get out of the normal curve area type thing. But if you're not brain dead, I mean, this is a superpower to have. And yeah, we'll see how long it lasts. Okay, maybe 3-4 years, it doesn't matter anymore. And you know, we got UBI and it's a freaking communist hellhole. But for right now, I mean, use it and abuse it because it is the amazing opportunity we're given. So.
And I've even seen, I saw someone, yeah, Hakuna Matata, but I saw someone talking about this on Twitter. It might have been Nick Abraham or whatever. Like, this is something someone could easily grab. Like, Lovable is an AI website builder. And people are like, you could literally find people that have old websites. In Lovable, you can literally prompt it. It'll create, like, insanely high definition websites, set up systems, SEO, like, all of that in a matter of, like, a short amount of time. And it's like, if you can understand how to use Lovable well, or find someone, an Upwork person that knows how to use Lovable, you could go to tons of local people that have just older websites, and you don't have to charge $5,000 for the website. You could charge $1,000 for the website, you know, something cheap. And that's an extra 2, 3, 5K a month. And you're not even actually building the website, which would take time. If you've ever built your own website, like Squarespace and all of that, it's like super high quality. Like even that, like you find different AI tools that all of a sudden are much better than others and kind of change the game, and you take advantage of that for 6 months, a year, 2 years, turn it into your own business, your own agency, your own side hustle. I mean, yeah, we need to take advantage of it even more. I mean, of course.
Yeah, I want to look into this Lovable. That sounds great because I have a client that we need to do something with their website, but hyper niche too. I think that's the best advice I heard from one of these other money people on the podcast is literally find the psychologist that only deals with dog mom owners or whatnot. Like you think, oh my God, there's only 5 of those in the USA. There's not. And you can still find thousands of them and be like, hey, look, I'm the expert at this website. You know, I work with all these other big names. And like, oh shit, you're the dog psychologist, woman, person, web builder.
Addiction recovery centers, like hypnosis people, like all these little tier 2, tier 3 side niches. It's like, then you become the person. And then you can also charge more, you know, and then it's easier for outreach rather than just being a one size fits all. You just do everything. Now you can do that initially just to build up goodwill and, you know, get at bats. But think about it. You're not in a blue ocean. You're in a ocean where 700 people are reaching out to the same contracting company.
Exactly, dude. I remember that because my buddy, his father's one of the founders of Lifetime Fitness, and we were talking about the towels in Lifetime, and they're like, Nick, this towel guy has been the supplier of Lifetime Fitness since they started, and that's all he does. But Lifetime's got a billion cajillion towels, and this guy makes hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars just supplying the towels. Like,
yeah,
just one thing, one niche, made a relationship, and he's the ultimate towel guy there, and you're set for life, you know? But yeah.
That's what Hormozi did with gyms. Hormozi became popular with gyms, and no one was going to gyms because they thought they didn't have good margins. It's expensive business. It's hard to retain people. And right, he had his own gym, so he figured, okay, this is the problem with me. Why don't I just go market to other gyms and do the same thing? And he was charging 10, 15, 20K for these like high ticket, and in an industry that people thought was broke and couldn't afford it. But all of a sudden you can change retention, you can change the price of the membership, add a couple things. And he, you know, went to a business model. That's what he's known for. He went to a business model that was not considered popular or expensive or good clients, and killed it and sold his business and turned it into a massive, massive deal. So there's Hormozi
Well,
on the
last thing I was
docket
saying
there
is,
too.
that's interesting. When you start learning these skills and then you start outsourcing too, you see opportunity everywhere. Like I was telling you with my tailor, I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude, like let's make a deal where I give you this and that and you just give me free clothes, right? And because I know what he needed, I know I could do it really well. I sent him examples, and I mean it's Brazil. A lot of them don't have money, so we ended up not making a deal. But I've had this happen like many times before, where on the road traveling, because there is people with money at the top in these countries. You're just like, wait a second,
Yeah.
I can bring my American brain. I have this whole thing behind me that I've already done for USA clients. They want to work with Americans. Like, let's barter. Let's make a deal. Let's do all these different things, and the world becomes fun, like really exciting. Okay, there's opportunity here, there, and but doing business in Brazil is a whole nother topic, and I will really hammer this down when we're in Chile
Yeah.
together because I can't speak on it right now.
Yeah, no, I mean, most people probably shouldn't do international business. But I will say, I've been talking about that like here. You get to these places, and if you do understand business and how other countries do operate, a Western person, the way that they do business, you could find ways to do an absolute killing in some of these places. If you connect with the right people, they want to do business with you because you are a Westerner, you work faster than most of those people, and if you start running Facebook ads, probably out in these countries, it's probably so much cheaper, and no one else is doing it. Where in certain places in the U.S., everyone's running ads, and you got to be a little bit different on how you market it and how you set up your copywriting and your funnel and all of that stuff. Like there's avenues, but that's the thing. Once you get experience in business and once you get in these circles and you start hearing this information, what might be normal to me now might blow your mind. It might be the most simple thing ever because it's the first time you've heard it, and it might blow your mind, and it might be the difference between you making $1,000 a month and freaking 30 grand a month. So it's like getting into those circles, investing in yourself, getting into those things. Like if you're just getting started, the experience and just hearing by association, right? That is what allows you to see the world and see business and see these opportunities all over and be like, I could do that there, I could do that here.
Dude, yeah, all this stuff is starting to make sense with me investing in all that, which I did before. I'm glad I didn't, but also kind of glad I didn't or did as well. But Latin America, Jers used to talk about all the time. He's like, damn, why don't they have this? We do it in the U.S. It's totally normal to us, but they have no idea. They need to implement it and make money on the ground back in the day in Latin America. But like Mercado Libre, that's just Amazon. Rappi, that's just freaking, what was the first deliver eats thing in the USA?
Like Uber Eats or DoorDash.
We're successful in USA because we're the best innovators and innovation in the world, and they just implement it down here. Obviously, you need to know how to deal with these people because it's a whole different ballgame. But then they made millions. They didn't reinvent the wheel. They already saw what worked. They studied it and then just say, hey, let's put it here. Now we're a freaking billionaire. Mercado Libre is loaded, right? So it's like if you can take that stuff or what you done back there, like Zach just said, where it's totally normal to our brains, and you bring it down here, it's like holy shit, you're a genius and you're gonna make us so much money. But then the flip end is just you have to know how to deal with business down here because there's no place in the world that does business like USA. Correct, amazing, beautiful business. And the rest of the world is just insane. Like especially in Latin America. I mean, Europe is a little better, but they're lazy and they're annoying. Asia is ruthless. I haven't done this too much there, but I know a lot of people who have. Yeah. I met a really high real estate guy in Cambodia, and he schooled me because he did a bunch of business in China and so forth. Africa obviously is crazy, but you have no idea where you're getting into, and you're probably going to get burned. So I would partner with someone on the ground that you trust and like have all that in. Yeah. But there's so much freaking money to be made down here with our ideas that are not ours. There's someone else created them 15 years ago in the USA.
Yeah, and you get in the higher circles, and you're already put up on a pedestal because you're from America or from the West. Like you just operate at your 50% operation is the 100% of a lot of these countries. So it's like they're more willing, and it's typically more trustworthy in terms of doing business with Western societies like the U.S. So it's like they're more willing to shake hands and get something going with you. But obviously you should have someone on the ground, someone that you trust, build a relationship, someone that has some money, and it's not just flipping around, wants your money. Partnership type stuff.
We're not just saying like IQ charts or whatever. We're really talking about how America does business, and stereotypes is true. The American business is actually legit. Yeah, we work too hard, we do all that kind of stuff, but we do what we say. We do good work. We're on time. And it's totally different down here. Okay, so when the elite person or the high class down here is like, okay, the American, I know their work ethic, right? As my AI guy, he's he's worked 5 years for American companies, and now when he does business like in his like state over there, he told me the other day, he's like, Nick, I have to teach a lot of my people that are working for me or my clients, like, hey, this is how we're gonna function things. Like this is like you have to like reteach them normal business stuff that we take for granted, right? So it's a whole different culture. There's pros and cons.
There's negotiation. There's negotiation, but there's like more trust. Like business stuff in the U.S., people will tell you how it is. More typically, they'll tell you whether they want to do it or whether they don't. Where it's like right around here, everyone kind of beats around the bush. I would say a little bit more. You never really have a direct answer. So if you're doing it, you're doing it, and it's usually obviously quicker. We're not talking IQ or anything like that. It's just the U.S. work culture. Build your life. The American dream is like alive and well from the people that understand it.
Awesome, Zach. Good hour and a half, all over the place.
All over, a little bit of touching on everything,
Wait till you see my face after this micro needling session. It's gonna be freaking gorgeous. A little puffy now, but I freaking got it. The acne, man. I can never get rid of it. I don't know what it is. Now I'm getting wrinkles. I mean, I gotta start doing some beauty treatments. It's crazy.
Guy needs to do a 3 to 5 day water fast, brother.
I think I need to. I think it's something. So I gotta do some shit like that.
Clear out your skin and your pores.
Again, talk to Zach about the credit stuff, business, all that.
Book a consultation with Bold if you want to understand where you want to go next, maybe what the best option is to travel to if you're new to this thing.
Yeah, we gotta be cool. I don't like taking dorky consultations. It only be cool. So
you gotta have a profile photo.
Yeah, big time. No, Hakuna Matata. All right, everyone, live bold.